Real Sports Fan Podcast. We live. We in Denton, Maryland. My boy Terae Warner.
Nap House.
Not a phase. We in here. 212 Market Street, right?
Yes, sir.
Denton, Maryland. Appreciate you letting me come through. I guess we better so everybody. Man. We still social distancing out there.
We got the sanitizer.
Yeah, we got this. We got it somewhere here, so we good. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. I know a lot of people, most of us just sitting in the house trying to find something to do. So hopefully, for the ones that's coming on now, let somebody know we live, share it. Tell someone else to share it. Tell someone else to share it. But this is a special one for me. My first road trip. You know what I'm saying, on the podcast in these 3 years. So I wanted to come check my boy out. I don't think we supposed to do something last year. Mm-hmm. With schedules and everything conflicting. We finally got to link up, this year, and again, appreciate, you had me, man. So
yes, sir.
Man, first, man, just starting off, man. Just first, how you doing with the everything going on with the virus and everything, and all that good stuff. How you maintaining your time?
Man, it's wild, man. It's wild because we never really been through nothing like this. So it's just different, like. So everybody's just on the fly trying to figure out what to do, how to manage, like you said, how to stay afloat. It's just gotta keep going, man. That's all we can do, really.
That's it. One day at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one thing my grandfather always told me: take things one day at a time and just let the chips fall where they may. So, like I said, we never done anything like that. So all we can do is listen to the folks and use sanitizer, use good judgment, 6 feet, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into a lot of stuff today. Obviously, we're going to get into sports. I definitely want to pick his brain about the league and about different things. But we're going to get off first, again, we're in Terae's business. Again, not a phase. You haven't got something, make sure you come get something. Make sure you can shop online. I'll let him tell y'all about that at the end. But just talk to us, man, just about growing up. And the reason I asked that first is not for some people who may not know your story,
right? But
also even for the youth that are coming up, not just in Caroline County, but just on the shore, period, social media, everything. So just talk about growing up, just some of the things you went through, and just some of your influences as well.
Well, for anybody that doesn't know me, my name's Terae Warner. I was born here, Eastern Maryland. Raised in Caroline County, the north part of the county, Denton, Ridgely, Greensboro for my whole life. So, always been in this area. Growing up, it was the same for me, just about anybody else on the shore, really.
Yeah.
As kids, we spend a lot of time outside, finding stuff to do, being creative, coming up with different things to occupy our time. Up in the city, you'll see kids, they got gyms and rec centers and all that type of stuff to go to. We don't have that, so we got to really get creative, come up with stuff to do outside, because back then we couldn't really sit in the house for real. You couldn't sit in the house. So
you could try.
Yeah.
After a while, your mom said, "Why don't you go outside?"
Right. She'll send you out for real.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I mean, we came up with anything back in the day growing up. It was basketball outside, football, smeared queer, baseball, wiffle ball, you know what I mean? Anything, just whatever. As long as the sun was up, we was out there for real. So, growing up, man, we had it all the same. So, we didn't really do much, ride bikes. My mom, she did a good job. She stayed on me a lot. So, I was always on my school work. She worked in the school system, so
you had no choice.
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty much mandatory. You know what I mean? She did a good job with that, and I was pretty much occupied. It was a lot of sports, baseball, basketball, of course. Did a lot of that when I was younger, but that's pretty much it as a kid, man. Same as any kid on the shore in the 90s, man.
That's what's up. And I know you named a few places. Did you used to live in the Ridge? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when my senior year, the summer before my senior year, I moved to Ridgely.
Oh, okay.
So probably like 2007, 2008, I moved to Ridgely. Lived there from that time up until 2015. Okay. So spent a lot of my young adult years in Ridgely, so you know what I mean, that's the place that stands out the most as far as growing up. I feel like that's where I really grew up. You know what I mean?
Right. That's dope. And growing up, I know you you mentioned mom, obviously there for you, big influence. Any other influence, whether it's in your family or outside people, whether it was a coach or whether it was even someone you looked up to that was on TV?
Yeah, definitely. Pops was around. My dad was there. You know what I mean? He did a lot for me too. So my dad was around. He, you know what I mean? He always kept me straight as well. So definitely a shout out to him. My god brother is Devin Beck, actually. So his mom, you know what I mean? So his mom, she actually babysit me. So growing up, I spent a lot of time at their house, and he was always around, and he was, you know what I mean? That's who we looked up to. You know what I mean? That's who we looked up to. So he's always been like somebody we looked up to as kids.
That's what's up.
That's pretty much it, man. Coach Perry, I love Coach Perry, man. He did a lot for all of us,
That's
he
my
looked
guy.
out. Yeah,
that's my guy. I'm gonna talk about Coach Perry.
Coach looked out for all of us, man. He had us from, me personally, 7th grade. So he had us from 7th, 8th grade all the way up until now. You know what I mean? We can still call Coach right now. So shout out to Coach. He played a big part too.
Yeah, Coach Perry's a good guy for sure. Good guy for sure. Growing up, I know you mentioned baseball and basketball. When did you get more serious about basketball than baseball, or was it your choice, or was it just one of those things that you just gravitated to?
Man, it was, I don't know. I think it's just something about our culture, man. We just think you know what I mean? We just think we gonna be hoopers, you know what I mean?
Even if we start off in baseball, we might be good at baseball. I was had that conversation with Bryce. We could have been real nice at baseball, but when you get a certain age, like, all right,
it was cool. Like, it was fun. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. Maybe it's something about baseball too. That could be a thing, but I just faded away from it. It was like 7th or 8th grade. You know what I mean? And I was just like, nah, I'm gonna start focusing on basketball. Yeah, you know what I mean? When looking back, I always say that probably wasn't the right decision. It probably wasn't the right decision to focus on one. You know what I mean? We see kids now.
That's how I was though.
Yeah, we see a lot of kids now that play both and could play both pro.
And you know, that's a good point though, because, and I think it is a culture thing, and also maybe even what we see when we look around. The reason why I say that is because that's a great point, is that even when I grew up, I didn't play baseball or anything like that. I did have an option to play football, but I was always just thinking about basketball.
Right.
Now looking back, I always tell people I would have probably used football just to maybe lift, get stronger, stuff like that. Baseball, soccer, different things, hand-eye.
You can take
skills from it, and even if I didn't make it. So, but you see now, a lot of these kids now, they realize that, okay, hey, just because I'm a good basketball player, I can't be a good football player. Good baseball player.
I can still play these sports.
A lot of kids, shout out to POV, he posted something the other day about LeBron. And people forget LeBron, he was a great basketball player, but he's a great football player.
All-state.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, like, a lot of young kids coming behind us, we know because it's in our era, but they didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great point, as far as that. So when you transition to, more on the basketball side, who were some people that you looked that was in the NBA at that time, growing up to where you started following them or just started looking at their games? I know obviously you were the biggest, Kobe fan, but
it was the early 2000s when we were in middle school, when I was in middle school. So around that time it was like 02, 03. So it was players like Rip Hamilton. It was real guard heavy in the league that time. It was like Rip Hamilton. Yes. He was hard to guard. He gave you trouble. Anybody that gave Kobe trouble, I noticed. I wanted to watch their game and see what they were doing. It was a lot of guards back then. T-Mac was in the league. T-Mac was going crazy.
Young Ray Allen.
Ray Allen on the Bucks.
Him and Kobe used to go at it. They didn't like each other because they guard each other.
They battled. It was battles.
And one thing about Rip and Ray is they always constantly ran.
That's
one thing we'd always say too, is that he didn't like playing defending guys that always ran.
You got to chase them.
You got to chase them.
That's your legs gone.
Legs gone. So 02, 03, that was definitely a good time. And you're right, T-Mac, he was one of my favorites as well.
T-Mac was in the trouble. He was trouble. He was in the West with us, with Kobe and them. So we saw a lot of them.
And that's crazy because even before that, he was with Orlando, and he obviously had a couple of good years scoring champ and all that. But then we went on Houston, him, Yao, and like you said, they placed the Lakers a lot. And then that one year Houston was real good. He ended up getting hurt. That's the year they ended up getting Artest, and he got hurt that year. And they would have got a little further.
But, we would have had to see him later.
Had to see him later. So that's good stuff. So so did you? So that basically you became a Laker fan, the early 2000 run?
Yeah, that was around that time.
Shaq, Kobe, the first repeat?
I was watching. It was really because, like, I like Kobe, but it was like I never saw anybody do what Shaq was doing. I never saw anybody like
big and dominant.
I never saw nobody do that type of stuff. It was just crazy to me. Like, he couldn't be stopped.
People kind of forget that how unstoppable he was. You know what I'm saying? I hear some people call him the most dominant player ever. And he really was because a lot of times he got fouled. A lot of times it's kind of like LeBron now, where they're so big that sometimes they get fouled hard.
You can't really
tell because they just bounce right off of them.
You can't
but
really
Shaq
tell.
definitely doesn't get enough credit. So that's interesting as far as the Lakers. So you stuck with the Lakers. So then I know you said it was early 2000s in middle school. So before you even got to high school, did you play in any rec leagues, AAU, anything like that around here? I don't know how things.
See, it was weird. Yeah, it was weird in middle school around that time because we didn't have middle school teams. So and it wasn't really a lot of AAU programs in the area. You know what I mean? So it was different, man. It was different in middle school. But going back to Coach Perry, luckily I think I was in 7th grade when he started like taking us. He would just take us places and just play. He would get like 8, 9, 10 of us, and he would take us places and just play. And that was really all we had. And then one summer, Parks and Rec, they did a summer league at the high school for the whole county. So it was us and Colonel kids, pretty much. That was it. But that was real good. It was like a lot of kids, a lot of teams, good games. That helped us a lot, I think, too.
Yeah, that's a good point too, as far as what they had to run at time. Because when I was growing up, we had AAU that was starting in the East, and we had different parts coming. But around 2000, 2001, that started to kind of go down and kind of change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to withstand.
It's hard to withstand. Like, yeah. So and then we didn't have the middle school like they do now. Like they had the middle school league.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Skinner and Jig. I always shout them out for coaching and anyone that does the stuff that Ron and John do and Jonathan Fletcher. I mean, so many people out there. I don't want to miss anybody, but that they do with the middle school kids and the kids period. But I always tell people, we had the middle school league growing up. It would have just helped so much more when it was time to get to high school. So much more developed. Like back in Easton, we did have YMCA. But it just wasn't the same. It wasn't as competitive.
Like you said, like you said, without if it wasn't AAU, there wasn't a middle school league. So if you didn't play AAU, then you probably didn't play organized basketball in middle school.
That's a good point.
You probably didn't play team basketball in middle school. You played in elementary at Parks and Rec, but middle school there was no team. And if you don't know about AAU or if your parents can't really afford AAU, then you don't play organized for 3 years.
And a lot of times, for some kids, it doesn't matter how good you are, but if you haven't played organized ball and you try to go from just playing
off the street
to go, it's different. It is. It's different. It's a bit of an adjustment, when you go to something like that. So that's a great point, right there. And I do want to mention, since the second time you mentioned Coach Perry, I always respect Coach Perry. Coach Perry, when I got to school, I think it was when I was a sophomore, I played against. I think that was his second year he took over. It might have been his first. It was one of the first or second year he had started off. I know he just retired for this past year, but he coached me in the All-Star game my senior year. Okay. And he just always, some coaches it's just a mutual respect. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was just a cool dude. He was a respectful dude. He always spoke. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I could see in the day he would know who I was. So I always, love Coach Perry. So shout out to Coach Perry and great career and all the things he did. And like Terae said, not just coaching, but the things off the court. Taking time out to take kids places, to see things, to do different things, even outside, outside of the things he wouldn't normally do. So, you know what I'm saying? We need people like that and continue to get role models and stuff like that. And that's what people like you were doing, people like Ron doing, John in your area, is that y'all doing more, things for the kids and things like that. And that's all for, I'm sure, the seeds that were planted, you know, by a Coach Perry and different people like that too. So shout out to everybody that's doing things positive in the community. So transitioning even to high school, you know, talk about high school a little bit. Now, from what I understand, and I think your era, I was kind of at the end of college, and then kind of just getting back. So a lot of games I missed with you and John.
Right.
I probably only seen a couple, and I really can't remember a lot. But if I'm not mistaken, your 11th grade year, was that John's senior year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the year y'all went to the 2A East Regionals?
Yeah. That
to
was
face Y?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So talk a little bit just about that year, that team, just whatever stands out. You know what I mean?
So it was weird because when Coach got us, like, it was like, looking back, he was probably like, I want to get this class. It's the 07 class. He was like, I want to get this class before they get to high school, and I want to get them, you know what I mean, get them, start grooming them pretty much. So looking back, I think that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
But when he started that program, like, that's when we all started playing together. They had already been playing together a little bit, but the year behind them, us, my class,
Got you.
that's when we jumped on.
That's your joint. Got you. Got
So I get to 9th grade. 07 classes in 10th grade. I make JV. We play JV. A lot of the people from the 07 class that ended up starting on that varsity team, we're on that JV team. So we had Brent Beck and just like a couple of different of those players that were key pieces on the 07 team.
Yeah. Y'all had with Brent Beck, with AJ,
Shamar Rich,
like
Chris
John,
Potter.
Chris Potter. Yeah. I know Chris.
So that JV year, my 9th grade, we ended up going undefeated, and that's when I was like, man, we're on to something. We're on to something. So and John's already on varsity. I think Shamar might already be on varsity. Trayvon Green, he's in 08 with me, so he's a freshman. He's on varsity too. So I'm like, we're on to something, man. We got Terrence Coles over there with us too.
Terrence.
Yep.
Was he in Easton? Terrence Coles?
He was in Easton, and then he came.
Then he came, right? I remember Terrence. Yep.
So we had a pretty nice team, but then going into that 07 year, my junior year, we it's like the Bayside guys. They already knew what was going to be.
They was looking.
They already knew what was going to be. So we played Y High during the regular season at our house. They beat us single-digit game. They beat us. It was
a good battle.
It was a battle. It was a battle. So they got that one, and we already knew we were going to see them again. So I think we may have lost maybe one game in the North after that, something like that.
That's solid.
And then we go on to the Bayside game. Bayside game back then, it was played at Salisbury. We go to the Bayside game. We play Y High again. This when they got AJ Spencer, Terae.
Shout out to AJ, little brother.
They got a couple guys. They had a couple guys, man. But ran into them at Salisbury Bayside Championship. Got us again.
Was that single digit still, or
it might have been like 11 or 12. I feel like. I feel like it was like exactly. Couple possessions. So they got us in that one. Then we roll into the playoffs. Beat a couple teams. We beat I think this was like Pocomoke, and then we knocked off Decatur, and then Y High comes to us in the region.
Came to Denton. Okay.
So we're the higher seed. They come to us. You know, usually you gotta go to Butch. You gotta go to Butch. Usually,
That's
usually
facts.
you gotta go to Butch.
That's facts.
But they came to us, man, and it was like it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Right. This was back when.
Straight battle.
Yeah, games they was sold out, playoffs for sure.
Those are the good days, man.
It always stands out to me because I remember when we came out, you know, you warm up, then you go back in, then you run out. Playoff games. We ran out.
Yeah.
We ran out, and it was people sitting on the steps in the bleachers. It was people sitting on the steps. It was so packed. I was like, man, this is crazy.
Not like it, man. Not like it.
I was like, this is crazy.
Not like it.
So it's another battle, man. It's just every time it's just a battle, and it comes down to a couple plays, like you said, a couple plays down the stretch. And in high school, those couple plays are so pivotal because you never know when you're going to see them again. That's any level, but in high school, even more.
For sure. Even more. So they went on and
got us one more time.
They got there. Got you.
Cut the nets down at our crib.
Got you. Like you said, man, good battle. I do remember that year. I got to see LT and Bryce play them. I want to say in the regular season. Bryce hit a 3 from the corner. It might have been the year before. It was one year Bryce hit a 3 from the corner for them to win it. It might have been the year before that though, but they had a lot of good battles going too. I know why.
That's why the North was so
crazy. But it was always crazy. Yeah.
That's why the North was so crazy.
It was crazy.
You had LT in Easton, LT, Bryce, Long, BJ Thomas. You had them in Easton. Then you had Tabari Perry and them in Cambridge. They were 08 with me, but shoot.
But it was a battle.
The North was crazy back then.
And so then going and well, even before I get into your senior, and talk a little bit just about the things you do well. Now I've seen you played against you a couple of times and seen you play, and just from what I've seen, and then even from what I read about previously, great shooter and great rebounder. I seen a lot of your stats and doubles, here or there. But just talk about just your game, growing up, things you like to do, and just even back then transitioning now, because obviously you're still a hooper.
Yeah. So man, I wasn't lucky enough to be taller when I was in high school. So I hit it late.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't even 6'2" until about my senior year.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was like 6'2" my senior year. So I was always a guard, so that's why I could shoot it. Back in the day, I couldn't really handle it, so I had to shoot it. You know what I mean? You don't really got too many other options for real. So that's where the perimeter play came from, and then as I got older, I just got taller. You know what I mean? So that made me a big guard, and now it turned out to be in my favor. But so on those teams, I was a guard, shooter, like you said, perimeter shooter, slasher, get in the paint a little bit. But yeah, man, it was just
that's what's up. Because so then transitioning, and the reason I asked that, but transition to your senior year, I did read where I think it was maybe 2 or 3 straight possessions. You played Easton, they left you open 2 or 3 straight times, the same spot, and you constantly hit I think 3 threes in a row. I think Marty at the time, I know he had took over for Tony Johnson at that time. He had a newer team after like say LT and all them left. Kind of said, all right, you got to guard him. You know what I'm saying, from what I read. So talk about your senior, because if I'm not mistaken, obviously y'all lost, I think, a whole starting 5 plus like 8, plus like 3 rotation players, so like 8 total. You lost Brent, lost AJ, lost John, and a lot of other guys. So coming back, you got you as a senior. You've got Herb coming in as a sophomore year.
Herb,
and then you've also got my man that can shoot it. Vernon. You got Vernon.
He's a senior.
That can shoot it. Now, talk to me about. First, let me ask you a question. Now, I got a pretty good source that said y'all were supposed to have another player.
Oh, yeah.
So, you already know what I'm talking about. Y'all hear breaking news. Listen, we live. Not a phase and Denton breaking news. I heard about that. TJ.
Yeah,
TJ Brooks. Queen Anne's. I talked to TJ. You know what I'm saying? And one of the games that we had when we was playing in the men's league, he said, man, I was supposed to come with Herb, Terae, we were supposed to do it. So let's talk about a little bit about what was supposed to be that year and then what was.
Man, it was weird because, like you said, we lost 7 or 8 players, like big pieces, key pieces. I mean, we were going into our senior year. We didn't have really much playing experience in games on the varsity level, really. You know what I mean?
Besides you, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and Trayvon Green, he played varsity all 4 years, so he had some varsity experience too. But senior year, TJ was actually enrolled at our school. He was actually at our school.
That's crazy.
Like going to our school. So that was really a thing. He played with us in the summer before and all. And some stuff started going on back at Queen Anne's. He just had to leave. It wasn't anything.
He could do
it. He just had to go. Looking back, that was the best decision for him. You know what I mean? Looking back, but Yeah, that would have been. I feel like that would have been different because that would have been different.
Talking about a guy that averaged what 23 a year. With so you put him with your scoring with you and her.
1,000-point scorer.
Yeah. So you're really looking at a real strong team. And I know one of the things that I think I might know a little bit about what happened. I'm not getting into it on here, but I don't know if you remember my senior year. We had Gary transferred to us, and it didn't have nothing to do with ball.
Similar situation,
and we lost, and we ended up going 7-1. That we had a week where we was getting ready to basically take over first. We beat Cambridge, beat her a lot, and then right before that we had lost games. You know what I mean? So we go from 7-1. To, I think we ended up being 1-7 because one game we played without, and so I think one of the things he had said was, I think somebody had mentioned that to him. Obviously, he was a little younger at that time. Yeah, but say just be careful because. People hate that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'll just say that for me. I'm just saying people hate that. So at that time, you just never know.
And one thing I noticed, man. Somebody's not gonna like this, but one thing I noticed, man, is people in this area, man. If you don't play for their school, man,
that's it, bro.
It's
war.
It's war. If you don't play for their school, it's war, man.
It's war. We was having a conversation on Facebook, and I don't know who originally posted, but I know my boy Bub was on there, and Andre Collins, a few people, but it happens all the time in the South.
All the time.
I mean, a guy from Chrisville go to Waha, a guy from Pussy go to Bennett, go to Waha, or any other school, Parkside, Seaboard, anywhere. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Simple transfer.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Down there.
But on the north, like you said, it's like if it's a rival school, like, oh no, he supposed to go there. It's
why
just
not?
I don't know why it's like that, but that's neither here nor there. But that is something I heard. So I'm glad it's true. Shout out to TJ Brooks.
Yeah.
I know we got that information from you. So how did that year go for y'all though? I mean, again, I know it wasn't probably as good talent wise that you had the year before, but how did the year end up starting out for y'all?
Man, we struggled, man. We struggled. I think we finished the year at 500. We finished the year at 500. We got a playoff win. We beat Kent Island playoffs first round here at our house.
Yeah, I did.
Got that win. Yeah. Then we went to Y High.
Yeah, went to Y High.
Yep. Went back to Y High. Yeah, we went down there.
Yeah.
That was back when they had
I said they had the
Bonzi. Yeah, they had Bonzi.
Shout out to Bonzi.
Trey Morris.
Yeah, Trey Morris. Yeah. Yeah, they were
a couple guys. Yeah, BR, my boy BR. They had them. They beat us 11. That one was by 11. I know that one. I remember that when they beat us by 11.
That was still.
They ended up going. Yeah, they ended up going across too. That year. Yeah.
That's what's up.
But that year, even that year is crazy because even that year in the North, it was still wild because you had Cambridge.
Yeah, because
all of their all their pieces were seniors.
Preston, right?
Yeah, Preston, Barry, Byron, Rick Teagle. It was all juniors with us.
Yeah, they sure did.
So you had them, and then in the South you had Snow Hill. That's the year they were undefeated. Keith Jackson.
Oh, okay.
They went across and won it, and 1A. So 08, it was still pretty. it was still pretty heavy in the Bayside.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So so graduating and transitioning to, getting out of school. What did you want to do? Did you always have entrepreneurship on your mind, or did you have a plan, or what would you think? You think college or what?
Man, I didn't have a plan, but I just always knew I had to go to college. It was like my mom, she wanted the best for me, so she wanted me to go to college. And as far as what I wanted to do, I didn't even know. Honestly, I didn't even know. I never really thought about it because all I thought about was playing basketball. So I never really thought about what I wanted to do when the ball stopped bouncing. Like, then what? You know what I mean? I never thought about it. And my mom was pushing college, and my grades were all right, and I was getting scholarships and you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I was like, I'm gonna go and just see what happens. I went to UMES.
Shout UMES.
Yeah, I went to UMES.
Prime.
I loved it down there.
Yeah.
It was different for me.
It's underrated.
Yeah,
very underrated.
I loved it down there.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, met a lot of people. Didn't do a lot.
Beck went there too.
Yeah, Beck went there. Yep. And it's it was just different for me because that was the first time that I was really like on my own, doing my own thing. You know what I mean?
Let you grow up.
Yeah. So it was mentally I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for all that freedom mentally. You know what I mean? So I went down there. I didn't do much schoolwork wise, and then once I realized that the schoolwork wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be, it was too late then. So I went there for a year. Then I came home. I went to Chesapeake. Did some time at Chesapeake, 2 years. Didn't really do much there either. And then I was just like, man, it's time to get to it. You know what I mean? It's like it's time to get to it.
And I appreciate you sharing that, man, because you know one thing that I'm always even pushing more, you know, even though I graduated from college, is college not for everybody. You know, a lot of times now that there's trades you can pick up. You know, there's entrepreneurship that you can do. You know, and it's not for everybody. So everybody's lane is different. Everybody's path is different. So that's big for you. Realize like, look, I ain't just gonna go here 4 years. I don't know what I want to do. Waste my money at the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then because, like you said in college, what a lot of people are saying, it's so much freedom. Like people have no idea. It's so much. You're hardly in class. Like your class is an hour. I commend
you know what I'm saying?
Graduate. And he don't have to say this, but I'll say this. When I was on UMass, it was like 20 girls to every one guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's college. It's college. So getting out of that, when did you first have a inkling or know that, okay, I want to have my own clothing line? You know, what did it start with? Because normally these sort of things start with a seed at some point. So how did it start?
So it was weird because I was actually working at Preston Nissan selling cars.
Oh, okay.
So I was there selling cars, and this was 2016. And like I was just learning a lot of stuff. That was the first job I was at where I was really learning like marketing and customer relations and you know what I mean, like business management.
You wouldn't even thought about.
Because you know what I mean, as a car salesman, people don't really understand that's like your own business. That's you running your own business. You get your own customers. You do your own marketing. You do everything on your own. They just give you the cars to sell. So I was doing that, and then a couple years went by. It was 2 years went by, and like car sales, they were like slowing down for me, and I felt myself like getting bored with it, kind of. You know what I mean? So I was like,
you know, it's time for something else.
I was like, I gotta do something different, man. I was like all this time that I'm spending here, like what if I was doing something productive for myself? So, and then I started thinking of, I called it exit routes because I didn't really have access to much like funds and opportunities. So I had to be very creative and come up with a way to do something that I love that I could eventually do as a business. So I think about it, and I come up with a clothing line. I'm like, I think back on times when I was a kid, you know what I mean? And I remember situations or something happened with some clothes or I got some shoes or something. And I'm like, okay, this stuff really like, you know what I mean? It stands out. It means a lot to me. So then I start thinking about, you know what I mean? What could I do with that? Let's try a clothing line. So I throw around some ideas with myself and, you know what I mean? Just do a little bit of research and see what I can find out. I'm like, I don't really need much to get started with this, so I think this might be it. So then I gotta come up with a plan. The first thing I had to do was I had to find another job where I wouldn't spend as much time at the job, so that I could focus on. I could add some time to work on really coming up with a plan for what I want to do. So first thing I start doing is I start looking for a job with remotely close pay. It's got to be similar, and because at the time I didn't have any kids yet, so I wasn't really you know what I mean, tied down too much. So it was like I just need something that can keep me kind of close and less hours, kind of, you know what I mean, less responsibility. Kind of come in, do your job, go home. That's it. So I actually found another job. I was actually at Chop Tank Transport. I was at Chop Tank Transport for a while, dispatching, and that was actually what I was looking for. Everything was good. Hours were, you know what I mean, worked out. And I just started working on my stuff. One day I said, I'm just gonna go buy a machine to cut vinyl, and I'll figure out the rest from there. I was like, I'll learn how to use this machine, and then I'll just
That's
do the
dope.
rest. Yeah, I was like, because we use social media every day, so I was like, I can easily come up with some marketing. I do good with marketing. I get a couple hundred likes. I get you know what I mean, couple shares. So that's I already got the plan for that. You know what I mean, somewhat at least to get going. And I just kept rolling, man. And like it's just once you start, then everything starts to fall in place.
It said, like you said, the rest is history. You know, it's like one of the things, like you said, like sometimes, and I hope everybody listening out there, and again, man, like share this. You know, again, this is Real Sports Fan Podcast, Season 3, Episode 4, live in Denton, Not a Phase Clothing. We're with my boy Terae, and just talking about entrepreneurship, but then also, you know, did you hear what he said as far as if you get started in something, sometimes we say, I'm going to do it, or, you know, we sit and say, I'm going to do this and that, and we never do it, you know, but once you get started, like you said, everything then started falling. So how did you know how to use a machine? Did you just look online, or YouTube it, or just trial and error, or what? You know what I mean?
This is where my better half comes in handy, man. My girlfriend, man, Taisha. Shout out to her, man. She
good woman by your side. Bro.
She showed me how to use it, man.
That's what's up.
I tried to learn on my own YouTube videos, all that, and I couldn't get it, and I just got frustrated with it, and I was like, I'm done, man.
You
so
like me.
I was like, I'm done, man, and she saw that I was frustrated, and she figured it out, and then she showed me how to do it, and then from then it was just we got it now. Now we just gotta get better. You know what I mean? We know how to do it. Now we just gotta keep getting better at it.
That's what's up.
Once you learn something, you gotta continue to perfect
it. That's it. And I like what you said as far as perfecting, and also I know it was me as a man. I get frustrated with it. Could be the small stuff, big stuff. Like this going on, I'm good. Like, I don't get too high, too low. But when it's something small, like it could be the smallest thing. I get frustrated. My wife be like, hold on, calm down. Let me help you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my wife.
Let me look at
it. She asked me, what time y'all start? You know what I'm saying? It's past 7 o'clock.
Right.
Shout out to the wife. But like I said, and shout out to your fiance, because we need that. You know, sometimes you need that support.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's from a woman, whether it's from your best friend, whether it's from a family member, but you need that to keep going. So you started with you know, buying the vinyl machine and start making shirts and stuff like that. So, and I don't remember when you first, I don't know if it was when you first started, but your marketing, you're right that it's always been at a high level, because it always stood out to me like, man, you just got a nice thing going, man. Not a phase, like, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So before I get to how we're sitting in this building right now, tell me a little bit about the name.
Okay. Not a Phase.
And where that came from. Tell them, I know where it came from, but tell them where it came from.
So it was like, I struggled with a name because like I'm into fashion, so I was like, the name, I know the name means a lot. You know what I mean? The name is so very important. It's so important.
Very important.
It's vital, man. So I was like, it's got to be a good one. So I struggled with it for a while, and I struggled with it, and like you said, like I would get frustrated, and I say, I'll leave it alone. It'll come to me. That's what I used to tell myself. I didn't know if it was gonna come to me or not. I just say, man, it'll come to me. Yeah, don't worry about it. So, and I just started. One day I was just thinking. I was just, cause you know when you're in grind mode, man, that's all you think about every day. That's all you think about
every day.
So I was just thinking one day, and I was like, I was thinking about like all the different stuff that I did in my life, or I tried to start, and I never finished it. So I was like, I did this, I stopped. I did this, I stopped. I did this, I stopped. So I'm like, everything that I've done has been a phase. Like everything in my life has been a phase. If it's not something to do with sports, it's been a phase. So I'm like, not a phase. I'm like, not a phase. That's the name. I was like, that's the name. Yeah, I was like, not a phase. I told my girl, I was like, that's the name, not a phase. She was like, I like that. I was like, yeah, that's it. And that's how I came with it. I was like, and then I'm like, it has a meaning.
It does.
You know what I mean? It stands out. I can use the acronyms. I can just do so much with it as far as creativity. So that wouldn't be hard. I was like, I think this is it. And it, like you said, it just kept ringing, and it was like, that's it.
And I love it because you're right. It sticks out. And then whether you want to just say NAP for short, you know, shout out, not a phase, represent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I did was I went and looked back at the article that they did on you, and when I read that, how you came with that name, I smiled. I was like, man, that's dope, because I didn't know the meaning behind it. Yeah. I was on the Etsy, but then I found out. I was like, oh man, that's dope. So I was like, I wonder, how many people know about this. So I definitely wanted you to share that, because you're so right that so many times in life we start so many projects, start so many things. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to school for this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start this, and we never.
Something goes wrong. Something go wrong, and you like.
Yeah. Well, forget it.
Right.
Forget
Throw
it
it to the wayside.
Forget
Try
it.
something
Even
else.
though sometimes we have these small hiccups and these trials, so we can keep going and to push us past the brink, so to speak. But when I read, I was like, oh, that's why they call it not a phase, because I'm gonna start this business. It's not gonna be a phase. It's gonna be a real deal. Yeah, so I read it like, that's dope. That's dope, man. So thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And then I noticed the 634 at the end. Speak on 634.
So remember earlier I said I felt like Ridgely was where I really grew up at. So that's those years of my life when I lived in Ridgely. I feel like that's what made me into who I am. You know what I mean? Whether it be a good situation or a bad situation, I feel like whatever it was, it made me into who I am. Whether it matured me or, you know what I mean? Because I always take something from every situation.
That's good.
You know what I mean? No matter how it comes out, you gotta take something positive from it. Yeah. You have to.
You got to.
If you don't try, then it's gonna make it worse, because you know what I mean? You just keep reflecting on the negative, then it's just gonna make everything worse. So I always try to take something good from it. In any situation I've been in, that I put myself in, or that I've been in wrong place, wrong time, I always take something good from it, because you gotta learn from everything.
That's it. That's real. That's real. That's awesome, man. So we talked about how you got started. Talked about the name. So let's talk about, we in this building, again, 212 Market Street, that Maryland. He's gonna go over the hours and online and all that stuff and all that good stuff. But how did we get here? I remember when you first started marketing and advertising, that you got a building and all that. But how did it come about, man? I know it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
How did it come about?
So it was 2018, July 2018. That's when we actually opened up for sales. That's when we opened up the website for sales. We only had 3 T-shirts, man.
Wow,
3 T-shirts. We had 2 for men and 1 for women. So ladies, I'm sorry, you just had to get it. But yeah, man, we had 3 shirts, and it was honestly, I was just at that point. I was like, man, I kept trying to get stuff together. I was like, I need this before I start, and we gotta get this, and we gotta get that. And one day I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna start, because if I keep pushing it off and saying I'm not ready yet, then I'm never gonna be ready. I'm never gonna be ready. So one day I just say, you know what? Today's the day that we're gonna start. So it was a day in July 17th, 2018. That's when we opened up for sales. First couple of days, we did all right. First couple of days, because one thing I noticed is people gonna support you if they like you and you're doing something good. So if they like you and you're doing something good, they're gonna support you at least once. So those first couple of days we did well, but at the end of the day, we really didn't have much to offer to the public. So that slowed down, and we went from July to November. From July to November, we did maybe $300 in sales in that whole period of time, and it was still that learning period. It was that learning period. So I'm like, all right, what we doing is not working, because I didn't go to school for this, so I didn't have a blueprint. We learning on the fly. So I'm like, all right, this not working. So we gotta go back and see, what am I doing? What can I change? What can I fix? So then it's like, all right, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna add something. Well, now we gotta add something, because at this time I still got a job, so I got extra funds and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, let's try this. I go out, get some long sleeve T-shirts and some track pants. I get some track pants. So I started to pick up some steam in November. So I'm like, all right, people like this stuff. So I'm like, people, they're not really worried about the product, because I'm not offering anything special, but they like what I'm doing, obviously. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, so just keep going. I'm like, just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep rolling with it. So November we did decent with the track pants, and December hits, and I'm like, let's try sweatpants and hoodies now. So I switched to sweatpants and hoodies, and this whole time while I'm coming up with stuff, I'm looking for places I can do pop-up shops. I'm looking for places I can do a pop-up shop. Where can I take my stuff and set up? I'm just trying to, you know what I mean, do anything to get my stuff out there. Yeah. That's right. So I connect with my man Drew. Shout out to Drew at Deadstock in Salisbury. The OG show, Drew. Yeah, he gave me a spot at the Christmas tournament in at the Civic Center in 2018. Okay. He gave me a spot at the Christmas tournament, selling my stuff there, you know, and I had a good spot. I was right by the door. As soon as you walk in, you see me.
Right
I'm right there. So once again, people see you doing that, and they like, oh, he's really grinding. So you know what I mean, they want to support, they want to keep it going, and you know what I mean, that was real dope. So I started doing pop-ups in like December, and that was my first pop-up. And then after that, we just kept it rolling. January, I dropped sweatsuits, and it went crazy after that. Bro. Yeah, the sweatsuits came and everything just went crazy. I didn't even know, like, it was just wild. I didn't even know you could sell that many sweatsuits, like one person. Like, it was just crazy.
Let me say for you that first I commend you for, and if people are paying attention to this, or some people supposed to be on, tag them, share it, do all that good stuff. But one thing that's key to what he said was, even though he didn't have everything he needed, he kept going. You know what I mean? A lot of times we wait, you say, okay, I'm going to wait till I got everything I need. You'll be waiting a long time in life, period. You wait until you get everything you need. But from what he had, he went. And then you improvise and you say, okay, what's working, what's not working. The tracksuits and sweatsuits just took it to a whole nother level. Because I think that must when I started knowing about it is when you were at the sweatsuit part. I was like, I got to get one. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, it's just in. It was what was in. It was different. And then also, like you said, like I read about, like you told the newspaper, is it gives you that 90s feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to Donnie back in the day. He had a store called Flay.
I heard about that.
And that's what it kind of reminded me, that 90s feel, like, you know, that era. You know what I'm saying? It's just dope, man. Yeah. So I commend you for, you know, continue to move, you know, and not get stagnant, but continue to move. You know, like you said, sometimes adversity going to be right there, but you overcame and you kept going.
It's going to come.
It's going to come. It's going to come. So you might as well just go ahead through, because it's going to come anyway. And then, like you said, finding out, you know, what lane you were in and what niche you had, and keep going.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in the building?
In the building
right now.
So I signed a lease in April of 19.
Okay.
Signed a lease.
Next month.
Yeah.
Next month.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
I didn't even think about it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I signed a lease in April, and we opened July. Yeah. We opened July 6th.
That's what's up.
And you know, it's weird to me because looking back, I always say, like, when I started my clothing brand, that started my first business. And then when I opened this store, I never thought about it. I was starting another business. I didn't even look at it that way. And then I get in here and I'm like, whoa, like, yeah, this is another business. Like, I don't know a lot of what's going on here. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just weird. Just like even going back to once we got the space, we did the floor. We did this floor. We did that floor. We painted. I didn't know that was my first time doing renovations. You know what I mean? Anything like, I had to. You know, it was just a lot, man. It was just different. It's just different. It's just different. A lot of stuff that you've never done before. But we grinded it out, man. We made it work. We figured everything out. Like you said, man. We you never know what's gonna come up, but
just keep on going.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. So, like you said, it'll be April. April will be a year since we had the space. July will be a year since we've been open.
What's up?
It's time to have an event, man.
That's what it is.
It's time to have an event, man. 1 year.
That's something up. That's right. That's right. So tell them. I know a lot of them know, but since we live, tell them the hours. Tell them online. Just tell them how they can get get some of this stuff.
Okay.
I think I'm loving this sweatsuit, man. It represent, man, out of phase.
Yeah,
tell them about where they can find stuff in your album and stuff.
Okay, so well, once everything
once everything
normal hours,
right.
I'll say normal hours are 12 to 7 Monday through Saturday. Sundays were closed like Chick-fil-A. Sundays were closed, but Monday through Saturday 12 to 7. Our website is www.nap634.com. We have new items on there just released today, actually, so you may not be able to come into the store, but we have new items available online. We do ship. If you need anything, I can help you out. So whatever you may need, just reach out.
That's right.
One thing we also offer, I think a lot of people are starting to find out now, we do custom orders.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, we do custom orders. So if you need like some t-shirts, some hoodies, you got an event coming up sometime, possibly, reach out. We do jerseys, uniforms, whatever it might be, 10, 15, 20, 50, whatever it may be. So we'd like to work with people, and we'll help you out on the price and whatever you want to do. So we offer that as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't know you did special orders and stuff like that. I seen that you did the jersey. Shout out Boo Ricks. I seen him on her earlier.
Bro, Boo, man.
Shout out Boo. I know you did the jerseys for his tournament he had a couple weeks back.
ISO Classic.
ISO Classic. Shout out to the first ever ISO Classic. Also seen that you did some shirts for some grooming for Jawan.
Jawan's wedding.
Yeah, for Jawan. I seen that. I didn't know. I was like, okay, my man, he eating everything. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it. So listen, man, y'all already said go to the website. Look at the stuff. I know some of y'all got stuff before. Look, get some more support. Support the business. Again, I know times are tough right now. We don't know what's going to happen, but trust me, it's gonna get better. But support each other. Continue to support.
That's what we gotta do.
It's just this is a dope place, man. It's my second time in here. I'm gonna have to before I get out here. I'm gonna have to get me something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's always a good time. It's always good fun. If I don't get on the day, best believe I'm gonna get something else because just today, as he said, they dropped We Plan to Last Forever.
Yeah.
Was it shirts, hoodies? Let's talk a little bit about that. About that a little bit.
Okay, so today we dropped some, like you said, We Plan to Last Forever. I call them the store tees and store hoodies because it's got the store address on the back with the store name. So I call them the store tees and the store hoodies.
Yeah.
Right now we have a long sleeve in white with the black screen printed logo on the front and yellow writing on the back. That's a white long sleeve. And we also had this hoodie, gray hoodie, black and white logo screen printed on the front with red letters on the back. So yeah, man, those two items just came in today, and they're actually the first ever screen printed, not a phase items for sale.
And forgive me, but what does that mean?
So
when I read it, I was like, what does that mean?
So the way that we normally make most of our stuff is iron on, because up until these pieces, I make every piece of not a phase clothing there is, I make myself or my girlfriend makes with me. So but this is just like a better form of, you know what I mean, application of your designs.
As you grow as a person.
Yeah, exactly. So that was one of our goals coming into 2020. I was like, I want to improve the product. I want it to look better. I want it to be just different because coming into this, I had a vision of how I wanted my items to look. And then once you see what you have access to and how you can make stuff, and then it's like, this is not what I wanted. Right. You know what I mean? Like when I made stuff, I was like, this is not what I saw in my head. Like this is not it. I can't sell this.
I got you.
But nah, man, it's just like, that's another thing. You just gotta stick with it, because I could have easily been like, nah, this ain't coming out when I'm done.
That's true.
But I was like, nah, I gotta keep going. I just gotta figure it out. I just gotta figure it out.
Well, listen, go buy it. Go buy something right now, man.
Shop NAP634.
Go right now and buy something, man. So again, we've talked about a lot about, you know, the business and about coming up, about hoops and stuff like that. And we're gonna get into some NBA. We are assuming the league is gonna kicked back. I actually just got a Bleacher Report notice
talking about, man?
that by any means necessary, the owners are saying that they're going to make sure it's a season, basically.
Okay.
You know, they want to make sure it's a season.
So at some point,
we should have it. So they want to salvage it any way possible, even if it doesn't start till June.
Right. Because that's what I was hearing this morning, mid-June.
Yeah, mid-June. And that would probably go until like August. And I'm all right with that. As long as I get hoops, I'm good with that. Now, I was saying last week with no March Madness, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I was thinking, because if you think about it, if you look at the playoff standings, it's really not too much left.
Nah, it's not too much. Yeah, that's a good point.
Needs to be decided.
That's a good point.
And
that's a good point, because if they wanted to, and it wouldn't beheave me if they did this. They could just say, okay, regular season done. We'll just start the playoffs. But I imagine they had to play a couple more regular season games to get everyone.
Because I feel like that 8th spot in the West is still a little.
And I think last time I checked, Memphis was still like 4 up. I think on I guess it was New Orleans and Sacramento. Yeah. Last time I checked,
because Sacramento's moving up too.
Well, Sacramento has been moving up.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened all of a sudden.
I was like, whoa,
with that, because I didn't realize, man, until a few weeks back, a few years before they stopped playing, that Buddy Hield was coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Didn't start.
Yeah, they wouldn't even start Buddy. And at one point he was talking about a trade, and he had just got paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but assuming that the season, kicks back, and I fully expect it to. I know you're a Laker fan. But just tell me a little bit first about, just your thoughts on just the season. What I mean by that is a person that stood out on any team that maybe you were surprised, or maybe a team that's not doing as good or that's doing as good. But just, I guess I'll say a surprise and a disappointment. I guess we saw that.
All right.
Disappointment.
I'll go with
put you on the spot a little bit.
I'll go with the disappointment first. I'll go with the disappointment. It's somebody I had perfect.
I put you on the spot.
I was about to say, yeah.
I know I'll put you on the spot real quick.
All right, let me go with my surprise first. I got that one. All right, my surprise first is I'm gonna actually go with your boys, man. The Heat.
The Heat.
Yeah, the
Heat Nation.
The Heat. That surprised me, and
the band.
What surprised me even more is Tyler.
Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
He nice, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect him to be that good.
He nice.
I didn't expect him to be that good, and I feel like he's a part of what makes y'all the surprise. You know what I mean? Because we knew y'all wouldn't be a bad team, but we didn't expect y'all to be able to contend for. Like, I feel like y'all can contend in the East for the East. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that. That's a good. That's a basketball mind. Hey,
man.
A lot of people don't even know who Tyler Hero is. A lot of people ain't gonna say Tyler Hero when you talk about the Heat. Who you talking about? But look him up, because right before everything happened, he had just came back off injury. When I went to Miami to see the game, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
But that was a great pick, late pick too. I think we got him 13 or 14.
Still.
And he was. I just actually watched one of his high school games with all this time I got. And he was killing. He had like 40 that
going
game.
Crazy.
But he could have went to Wisconsin easily. He's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But he went to Kentucky because he knew that Calipari would teach him how to be a pro.
And
that's what Cal does. That's what Cal does. So that's a surprise. A shout out to my Heat boys. Any disappointment, whether it's team or player?
Disappointment. Man, I'll say I'm disappointed that Golden State moved on from D'Angelo so fast.
So you wanted to see?
I like D'Angelo.
You want to see how him, Steph, and Clay
work?
Okay.
Yeah, because now I'm not saying that I don't like the Wiggins trade. I like that because I feel like Wiggins can kind of, once everybody comes back, he can kind of give that Harrison Barnes type of role.
Yeah,
he can bring that. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like that can also, being in that situation, can elevate his game too. Yeah, he's a Jayhawk. I'm a Jayhawk fan, so I want to see him do good. Yeah, I want to see him do good.
Okay, that's right. You and POV. That's right. Shout out POV.
But yeah, D-Lo, man. That's my baby. I love D-Lo. I just feel like that could have worked. I feel like that could have worked because it's no way that you can key on all three of them. It would be no way to key on all three of them. Now, on the defensive end, somebody's got to step it up. Somebody's got to step it up. But I feel like offensively, it could be real scary.
Now, I know you wanted D-Lo to still be there, but I know you gotta love him being with Cat. Who's his best friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I like that for Cat more than Wiggins because, like you said, Wiggins as a 4 option a lot better than Wiggins as a 2 option.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like that with D'Angelo being a 3rd, 4th option. Now he's at a 2 option.
Yeah.
You know,
with his
Cat,
best friend. Yeah.
That'd be pretty scary. You know,
and he's a dominant ball handler. He is. He's gonna create situations for Cat.
He wants to back.
Yep.
You know, kind of like I seen you do. You know,
a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. He like his mid-range pull up. Yeah. He likes to get in that area and do that. Yep. That's what he likes to do. Yeah. So he brings a different dynamic to that team. I feel like Minnesota, they were struggling at the point guard position. They tried it with Rubio, didn't work. Tried it with Teague, didn't work. And
then you could go back and like you said with the Rubio. I don't know if you remember with that Rubio draft.
Could have been Steph.
But they got Johnny Flynn as well. You know, so
they've
been trying for this for.
Yeah, you get 2 guards.
Got 2 cracks at it, still got it wrong. So it's a great point. Great point about that. Great point about that. And obviously this year, man, it really hit us hard with the passing of Kobe. And I definitely don't want to leave without getting your thoughts just on. Obviously it was tough, man. I mean, even now it's tough, you know. And I know for that first week or so, it was just like weird. It was didn't
crazy.
Feel weird. It didn't feel real. I should say. But let's talk about where were you at first. I asked that when you heard the news of Kobe passing. I know that was on a Sunday. So I know you weren't here. So.
Yeah, it was a Sunday. I like to get a nap in on Sunday, man, when I can. So I usually take a nap on Sundays and then we go play basketball at the high school open gym 5:30. So I was getting my nap in, man, and I woke up and it was probably about 2:30, something like that.
Yep.
And I look at my phone and I get on Facebook and it says Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. And I'm like, Facebook, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You find anything on Facebook. Yeah. So much fake stuff on Facebook, you never know. So I ain't trust it. Then it threw me off though because I scrolled. I'm still on Facebook and I scrolled and it said somebody else had shared it. And I said, oh. I said, whoa. So I go on Twitter. Twitter is like my confirmation social media. That's where down to the minute, down to the second, they got it. So I go on Twitter, I see it on there, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I have no idea what happened. I've probably been awake for like 30 minutes, man. And my family, they had just left to go to Chuck E. Cheese. My kids and my girlfriend had went to Chuck E. Cheese, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I broke down.
Oh yeah,
I was there. I broke down, man. I was hurting.
And that's why, man. I was telling a few people is that you never know the impact someone has on you, and it doesn't matter that you may have never met him because the things he did, you know, with basketball and then outside of basketball, and then obviously we follow him since he was 17, 18 years old. Yeah, so you're gonna feel like you knew him, but everything, you know. So some people's like, you don't even know him. How you feel like that? It doesn't matter. Like, right. You felt like you knew him.
You're right.
You know what I'm
saying?
You
follow somebody for that long.
for that long time. You know, it was crazy. Before we go on, and I am looking at, we got barely a questions here. Shout out to SB.
Got some questions.
Ty Colbert. SB, you know, he got on you before about the he said he got to give him some bigger clothes. I remember.
Yeah, tell SB I got some 2X's in there right now for him.
So he said this summer, he said he wants to see some big boy sizes or he's going to boycott.
SB, man, I got the 2X's right now for you, bro.
SB, he going to be back on here soon, too. Yeah. But what he wanted to ask, though, was what's the next wave of clothing you want to embark on? And also expansion, kids, accessories. Is there anything that you embark on next?
So yeah, so like I was saying, like I always had a vision of what I wanted as for my brand, like what I wanted it to be. So getting this product screen printed and being made by someone besides myself, that's the first step in expanding the clothes portion of this. So I want to do kids. I'll give y'all some insight since we're on a since we're on a podcast. I got some women's stuff that's gonna be dropping like real soon.
Okay, that's what's up. Exclusive.
Yeah.
Sports Fan Podcast exclusive.
Nobody's heard that.
That's what's up.
I got some women's stuff that's gonna be dropping real soon.
What's up, man?
That's in the works. You can look for that within the next few months, I say, just to be safe. So yeah.
For the summertime.
But I want to do women's. I want to do kids. I want to do hats, accessories. Okay. So yeah, ultimately I want to
expand.
Yeah, I want to corner the market, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. But yeah, man.
That's what's up. That's dope. Appreciate you, SB. My fault. I hope you still on here.
No, you might have missed it.
You got that, but if not, someone tag him and tell me you on here. Know, man. That's good. I'm glad everybody is listening in, and it's been some good content. So we talked about, again, the unfortunate passing of Kobe and everything. And going back to the season, obviously you're a Laker fan. How do you feel about the Lakers and what you've seen on the court this year? And my second part of that question is, are they, I know it might be a little biased, but are they your pick to win the championship, and why?
Let me get my water real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me get my water.
Go ahead.
So yeah,
Felix, I hope you listen.
Yeah, I hope Felix is on here. So of course, my Lakers, they're number one in the West. Only team with a better record is the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, right?
All right, so we're rolling.
Yep.
We're rolling.
And the Bucks have lost before the year. They were losing a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Lakers have mainly been like 2.5 back.
A couple games back.
Yeah.
And we just took care of them before the Clippers, so that was a pretty big weekend.
Good weekend. Yep.
Clippers on Sunday, Bucks on Friday, right?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. And then they just lost
that was a good weekend
to Brooklyn.
Then we dropped that one to Brooklyn.
But what y'all understand that one?
Yeah.
Because when you on such a high,
yeah,
and then you come down,
right?
You play Brooklyn.
It didn't even bother me.
Yeah. So that's
like when I saw it on Bleacher Report the next morning, I was like,
but it was like,
yeah. But yeah, so I think we're in a good place, man. I think this time off is good for us because we don't load manage and we rely a lot on LeBron and AD, which I don't like, but that is the way that our team is set up right now. I think when Dion Waiters comes, he'll bring a new dynamic to the team. I think this time is good for him too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because he's around the team,
That's a good point, yeah.
But I feel like he'll bring a new dynamic because when he comes, what people fail to realize about him coming is he's coming with the second unit, so that's gonna allow more minutes for Kuz at the wing.
People don't think about stuff.
That's gonna be good for Waiters. Then we got Morris out there at the 4. You got Kuz on the wing, and Caruso.
Yeah.
I like to see Rondo.
You don't want to see him play off?
If he's playoff Rondo, but
Rondo,
with the Rondo I'm seeing right now, he's just not efficient and he's not producing, man. So it's just worrying me. It's bothering me. And Caruso's giving good minutes. So
Caruso's giving very good minutes.
Yeah.
Caruso, they love Caruso.
I saw the plus and minus when him and LeBron on the court is crazy.
It's crazy.
Because one thing people don't understand about LeBron is when he's the most dominant is when he has that slashing guard on the floor with him.
Caruso would dunk on you.
I
think a lot of people. I think the issue is people ain't stand up watching Lakers games.
Yeah, that's why.
Caruso's good.
No, he can really play.
Caruso can actually play.
At the beginning, they was just like making a joke about him.
But he can actually ball.
He can play.
And Frank Vogel was actually even saying about how playoff time comes, he want to unleash him more.
Yeah.
And the Rondo, I'm kind of in the middle. I do believe Rondo can take it to a playoff Rondo. Not like last night I was watching the 2012 playoffs when Rondo dropped. I think he dropped 44 in some game. Yeah.
He used to go crazy.
He used to go crazy on us, yo. I was like, yo.
He used to go crazy.
Yeah, I think that game I was watching was game 2 or game 3. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that's a good point about him. Now let me ask you, since you are a Laker fan, do y'all? I know you say you don't want them to rely as much on LBJ and AD. Do y'all have someone that can consistently be the third guy?
I don't think we have a third guy right now. Coming into the season, I thought it was going to be Kyle, but he's not ready for that role yet. So I don't think we have a third guy. But I like the way we do it by committee, though. I like the way we do it by committee. When we beat the Clippers, Avery had 24. So, I mean, if it could be Avery that night, then the next night it might be Kuz, or it might be Caldwell Pope, or it might be Waiters, or it might be Morris. So, you know what I mean? Or all 3 of those guys might have 12 or 14. So I feel like we can do it by committee. Yeah. We got enough gritty guys that wanna win.
I like how you think. as far as basketball wise, because and I ain't just saying it's gonna be a shocker. If I thought you were wrong, I tell you.
Right.
Everybody know that. I tell. But I say that is because let's take that Laker Clipper game for a second, and appreciate y'all listening. We're gonna wrap up soon. I was just telling before we started, I said sometimes we get started and it's already been past an hour, but we getting there, but we talking good ball right now. But take that Laker Clipper game for a second.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to a couple people about that game, the first thing they say, or even if you turn on First Take Undisputed, the Skip Bayless of the world, the Max Kellermans of the world, first thing they say is, hey, Red's not gonna get 24 every night.
Right.
And what I tell people is that he doesn't have to.
You don't need him to. Because
just like if you look at the Kobe, Shaq, Lakers in the early 2000s when we started watching ball, they didn't have a third guy. But every night someone different stepped up. The first year it was Glenn Rice. It was Robert Ord. It was Ron Harper that first year. He was with him.
Yeah,
it was Derek Fisher, Rick Fox. Like you said,
it's always somebody.
Someone different every night can step up. So good point. It might not be Kuz every night. It might be Bradley. Might be Green. Like you said, might be Caruso. Might be Deion Waiters now. Might be Marquise Moore. So like you said, you have enough guys that for one night can do that and let AD and LeBron do. Because LeBron's gonna find you.
Yeah, because
find you.
If you combine that with 30 from Bron and 30 from AD.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And then defensively as good as y'all are, when you talking McGee and Dwight.
They talking about Clippers defense, man. Hey.
I understand.
And we built like a 90s, 90s championship team.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Perimeter defenders are good. But when you get past the defense and you got those trees up there,
waiting on you.
It's
at least one on the floor at all times.
You know what I'm saying?
It's at least one.
It's gonna be hard to score that way.
One thing that bothers me though about my Lakers, one thing that bothers me is Danny Green right now. I feel like we need more from him.
I agree.
We need him to play better.
I agree. He was on First Take today, actually, and he didn't say it on here, but I did listen to another interview he had, and he did say he's still trying to find his groove.
Yeah,
he's been up
a
and
lot
down.
of new players.
He's hit some big shots. I remember he hit that one big three against Dallas earlier in the year. Yeah. But he hasn't been consistently, even on the defensive side.
That's what I was about to say. That's what worries me.
Yeah, he hasn't been consistent. Now, he was saying that since Rayleigh's kind of handling the main guy now, he's still adjusting to it. But we'll see.
New team stuff.
So you do have the Lakers coming out the West?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who you got coming out the East?
The East?
Yeah.
That was up in the air. Cause one of my favorite Jayhawks, he's in, I don't know what to think about him, Joel Embiid. I don't know what's really going on out there, man. It's just and
I feel he's been disappointing.
Yeah, man.
They were my pick before the year.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Even without Jimmy, I still thought they had enough. Yeah. Not like Josh. I thought they had enough. But, if they don't do anything this year, they probably start with the coach. I'm not big on, like, a lot of guys, like, you got to trade them. Let it see how it works with another coach for 1 year. And then after that, if you want to split them up.
Because those two big pieces
you can't
split up.
It reminds me of a Young Shaq and Young Penny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to break them up too early like that. You know what I'm saying?
Just split them up because they're both so good.
Yeah, just split them up like that.
But the East, I don't know, man. It could be. It looks like the Bucks, but it's not solid.
You can't.
It's not solid.
You can't sign it with a pen. You can sign with a pencil and erase it.
You can scratch it out. You can scratch it out.
Because Boston's got
I like Boston. I like Tatum a lot.
Yeah,
I like Jason Tatum.
Yeah, obviously we talked about Miami.
Philly,
depending on the matchup or how they're playing. Obviously Simmons has to get healthy. This has helped Simmons' layoff because he had the injury.
Yeah, the back.
They wasn't sure if he was really gonna come back. So
that was gonna hurt them for him to miss that much time. Yeah, that was gonna hurt them.
Yeah, it helped them for sure.
So I would say either Bucks. It's gotta be Bucks or. I'm gonna play it safe and say Bucks or Celtics.
And definitely Lakers and against the Lakers.
Lakers for sure.
Okay. And
Bron got a point to prove.
And how many games do you see it going with the Clippers? Do you see it going 7 in the conference finals?
Strong possibility. Strong possibility, because it's like both teams. They already don't want to lose. They already don't want to lose.
Yeah. Is there any team in the West that can stop that LA battle from happening?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And is it anybody I'm forgetting?
Nah, I mean, a lot of people, when I ask that question, some people will say Houston, But the thing about Houston is they're not big enough.
Not big enough,
and again, it's different. Live by 3, die by 3 is different for them compared to people. You said that were Golden State. Golden State didn't really shoot a lot of threes. If you look at it, even though they had better shooters.
They ranked
all Houston do is shoot threes.
Golden State ranked good offense,
and they defended. You know what I mean? So I agree with you that I don't really see. I mean, I think Houston can say if they play one of them, take it 6 games. Yeah. But I don't see it going 7 games with me and sweating like nah. Utah is not playing as good as a lot of the experts thought, so-called experts thought. Denver, I've never been worried about them. You know, Jokic doesn't seem engaged all the time. They need something else.
He's too.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Are you playing or what?
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that's cool. So you heard it here from Terae. When the season resumes, the Lakers over Bucks, but it's not a lock-in with the Bucks, but definitely the Lakers. Again, Lakers is my pick as well. You know, to win it. So I'm hoping everything is resumed and we can go back. You know, to basketball because. I know a lot going on, but man, the sports is bringing your sanity back. It just, you know, we need
relaxation.
That sport. I'm hoping what they do is, I don't know if you noticed, you know, they're supposed to do the 10-part Bulls series.
They need to just drop it.
I think they're getting ready to do that because before, when they used to do it, they had a date like June, after the fall, June, whatever. Now, when they're previewing it, they say coming soon. So they probably know
you know it's already done.
It's done. It's done. So they probably know that, you know, we need to drop this now. It's no sports on.
They don't got nothing to watch.
If the NBA comes in the summer, you got to push it up anyway.
You're right.
So I think that's what they're going to do because they're playing a lot of old stuff now and whatnot. So we can ready to transition. When we transition, we actually gonna walk out here and transition on the live just so y'all can see the shot. I know most of y'all have been in here. But look, man, come through, man. 212 Market Street, Denton, Maryland. Like you said, 12 to 7 regular hours. Right now, catch them 12 to 5. Order online. You got everything in here, man. It's an awesome shop. You know what I'm saying? Hoodies, shirts, shoes is piling up. You know what I'm saying? Come. But man, again, man, I appreciate you. Let me come through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we you know what I'm saying? And I'll definitely be back, and we're gonna have some other stuff, you know, we're gonna do and whatnot. Couple panels I want to have with some of the fellas, including you too. You know, coming up in the summer, so we're gonna get together. Anything else you want to say before we stop the live? And shout out to anybody or anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I just want to thank everybody, man, that's been shopping with me, supporting me ever since I started, even before I started. Everybody that looks out for me, all y'all that share my stuff. Everybody, man, I just want to say thank you. I wouldn't have made it this far without you. Stay safe. For real, it's not a game, so stay safe. Please, just do whatever you can.
Yep. That's what it is, man. Real Sports Fan Podcast. Thanks for everybody tuning in. If you didn't catch it live, tag someone, share it, keep sharing it. Shout out to everybody for supporting. Peace. We out here.